My name is Brian Butler, known as Bono, and I'm a sales professional here at Rugged Rock Harley Davidson.
Oh, me? I'm Andy Hewlett, and I'm the sales and business manager here at Rugged Rock Harley Davidson.
I'm Sean LaFren. I'm the general manager and referee here at Rugged Rock Harley Davidson, and you know what? I'm no one's boss. I just do whatever got to be done here day to day and keep these guys from killing each other.
Sounds about right.
Harley Davidson, for me, Harley Davidson is a lifestyle. I've been doing this since I've been at this dealership for 11 years, and I was in my own backyard building and fixing motorcycles for 10 years before that. I've had a Harley since I've been 20 years old, and Harley Davidson is a lifestyle, and it is in my whole family, and it's been for forever, as long as I've been old enough to afford a Harley Davidson, which was 20. I couldn't afford it then, but it's a lifestyle.
For me, I'm at the dealership 11 years. Like Sean, couldn't afford a Harley Davidson until I started here. I did have motorcycles for 20 plus years, but when I came here, it really, my style and image certainly was brought into the lifestyle of Harley, and no looking back.
Your image? I've been riding bikes for about 31 years, I guess. Always aspired to have a Harley. Didn't get one until about 12 years ago. Had metric bikes up to then, but like Sean said, Harley Davidson is not just a motorcycle, it is a lifestyle.
For me, I have it. It is the street glide, and for me it's the ultimate touring and in around town bike. It's very nimble and it does everything I want it to do. So I can go on long tours or I can just go for a day ride.
For me, it would definitely be a Harley Davidson that's built by Indian Larry Legacies in Brooklyn, New York. Grew up watching Indian Larry build bikes, Harley Davidsons, and would love to have one of his custom rods.
I really don't have a dream bike. I started off on Sportsters and spent a pile of money to dress it up the way I wanted to. I went to a Softail, I had a Road King, I went to a Street Glide, I was on an Ultra. Full intentions of buying or taking a Road Glide for this year and riding it. You know what? It didn't really matter what bike I was on. It was where I was going, and I've made all kinds of trips up and down the eastern seaboard and up through the States and Canada, and I don't think, you know what? I don't think it really mattered what bike I was on. It was the people I was with and the places I went and the people I met, and I would love to try that new Road Glide year, but Russ, our parts guy, he kind of bought it out from underneath me, so I got to probably be back on an Ultra again this year. Thanks, Russ.
The culture around Harley Davidson, I think Sean touched on it earlier, like he was saying, it's not just a motorcycle, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you embrace. Like, look at us, most of us are covered in tattoos, long beards, pretty faces. So yeah, like Sean said, it's not just a motorcycle.
No, it is a lifestyle, and like Andy's saying, we all say it. You do see with the tattoos that's on our arms and stuff like that, and it is a lifestyle. It's a community, and everyone is close-knit.
Now you got all that bullshit out of the way. Harley Davidson truly is the people who you meet and the friends that you created when all of this came about. All the people that I have met through the days, there's people I've made a ton of friends, and I lost some friends, good and bad ways. But the people who I have met, and they're still your buddies. And I'm going to use this term, and I use it very, I don't use it very often. But you create a brotherhood, and that brotherhood, the people who you can call your brother, and I don't use that term loosely on everybody, but the people who you can call your brother, and those people will come to your house and help you out, and when you're down and out, they're the ones that you can truly, they are your family. And that bond is not in any other, I don't think it's anywhere else as strong as it is on a Harley Davidson. And until you can call someone your brother or your sister, right, I think that you will truly understand what it is to ride a Harley and that bond and what Harley Davidson truly means.
He's the general manager for a reason, right?
On the risk of everybody watching this video and never wanting to buy a Harley Davidson because you say how arrogant we are, but I would rather push my Harley Davidson than ride anything else. It's just like, it's like owning a classic car, I guess. The nostalgia that's behind a Harley Davidson and how deep it is, you know, the bumper sticker says it all. If I have to explain it, you won't understand. And it's like the dog who puts his head out the window, and he's got his head out the window, and it's just the whole freedom of his head stuck out the window and the wind blowing right through his fur. Well, guess what? When you're out on that bike and you're riding down the road and the wind is blowing through your hair or where your hair used to be, and you don't think about anything else. You think about nothing. You don't think about what you were doing today, what you got to do later today. You just point that front tire and go. And if you can't explain that, when you're riding through the foothills of the Smoky Mountains and you're going through up and through the mountains and through all the tunnels and around all the turns, and you know, they write songs about that stuff, and until you can experience that, I can't explain it.
Yeah, what Sean said.
He must have had a copy of the questions before the interview.
You think?
50 miles and 50 grand don't make you a biker.
Right now.
Go ahead.
So,
The Sean LaFriend Show.
I have all kinds of stories. Some I can tell, some I can't tell.
How much time do we have?
Some stories I can tell, some I can't tell. Like the time we were over in Corner Brook and there was a hot tub kind of thing after a long ride, but we won't touch that story.
And I was there for that.
Yeah, we can't talk about that story on camera because that just goes right off the rails. But I remember we were in Tennessee back about 4 years ago, and Scott Ryan was with us, and we found this road going up through. It left North Carolina and it went into Tennessee, and it was the Moonshiners route. It was called. It was Route 81, and all the roads were banked. And I went through this road, and I was like a kid in the candy store. I stopped up on top of the road, and I was just vibrating. I was shaking, and Scott pulled up on side of me, and he went to put his feet down, and there was nothing there. And he started rolling backwards, and he's rolling backwards, and he's, do you have your bike? Do you have it? No. Next thing, he's tipped upside down. His bike is up in the air. He's off, sitting in the middle of the white line on the road, and he's laughing. And we're there, and we never rode a road so intense and so much fun in our lives. And here's his bike sitting upside down. Gas is running out of the tank, and he sat on the white line, and his wife is sat right behind him, the same as they were sitting on the bike. And we were so excited about riding down there and riding that road that we knew nothing about. And that, you know, that stuff is what sticks in your mind. And all those road stories and all those places you've been and people you met, that's the stuff that you remember.
And for me was, I went with Sean and Ange and Scott and Janet, and we went down to the States in 2019. That was my first time off the island on bike. We went down, but we had no plan. We just went as we went, and we'd book our hotel maybe lunchtime or something. And we were coming into Vermont, and we booked this place, and we didn't know where it was to. We started going up the winding road upwards, and when we came out into the clearing, it was this big ski chalet. And we said, hey, we're going to be living it fine today. So Scott had booked the rooms, and everyone was a couple except for me. So Scott had told the person that don't mind the guy with the rubber doll, he's all fine. So I was the only one who got the real nice room because I had the nice balcony. But again, that's what it's all about. For me, that trip to the States was unbelievable, and I can't wait to get back out there again.
I know for me, my stories are not near as exciting as Sean's, but got some good memories. A lot of my memories on bike come from riding with a good friend of mine who has since passed, Roy Byrne. When I was living in Central, we'd often leave work in the evening and just go for rides 2-3 hours long, stop for fish and chips. Like I said, some great memories, and cherished memories too since he's passed. So, well, Harley's like nothing you've ever experienced before, and you know, unless you ride one, it's difficult to explain. But I know personally speaking, I had metric bikes for years and always wanted that Harley, and I think that a lot of people who don't have a Harley, they aspire to have one. So.
Good.
I think, you know, when people come in here, we all have different sales way we sell motorcycles. And I stand up here sometimes and I try to sell someone a motorcycle, and all of a sudden I realize that I haven't even spoke about the bike yet, and I'm talking to them for 10 minutes and I'm telling them about all the trips and all the good people and the fun times they've had and all that. And I think that, you know, I started off, like I said, I've been riding since I've been 7 years old, and I started off on Hondas, and you know, I moved up to a Harley, and I think that, you know, there's nothing wrong with what you're riding. If you're out there and you're riding and you're experiencing it and you're starting off on a Honda, or maybe, you know what, maybe you'll never go to a Harley, but there's something about owning that Harley and the people who, I guess, the passion and what they have over their bikes and about their friendship and that. And if you can explain that to them, and they'll realize that, and I think they can, because if you use it as the classic car kind of analogy that I had, people are passionate about those things, and they're passionate about the old cars and the old bikes and antiques and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I just think the camaraderie and the friendship that you'll find on a Harley is a little more, I guess, valued and a little more intense than you're probably going to find on any other bike. I understand that everybody, you know, you're out and you meet a lot of people. It doesn't matter what you're on, you're going to meet a lot of friends, but there's something about owning a Harley that just brings it to another level.
Yep, same as like Andy and Sean just mentioned. As for me, it's every person is different. Some people come in and they know exactly what they want, and others you could spend 2-3 months just trying to figure out what they want and how it fits them properly. So some people is cool is everything and comfort is secondhand. So a lot of people, that's Andy for one. So cool is Andy.
Cool is everything. Cool is Andy. Hope you got that on tape. Cool is Andy.
But yeah, so it's personal preference, and it does take people a while to figure out what Harley they want, but eventually they do get it. And to see the smiles on their faces and the enjoyment, and it is breathtaking. So
I see a phrase the other day, and I'm going to quote it because it was one of the best things I ever seen, and it said, "When you don't give a shit what anyone thinks about you, you've truly reached freedom." And I think that, you know what, that's a lot of a Harley. You can do up your bike the way you want, and you can dress the way you want, and you can have your own style, and you don't really give a shit what anyone thinks about what you look like or what your bike looks like. You've found freedom, and that freedom is on a Harley. Because you know what, we're 3 different people here, and we all look different, and one person has an idea what cool is, and the other person has an idea what cool is, and I really don't give a shit if you think I'm cool or not, right? Because I don't have anyone to impress anymore. And I'm at the stage of my life where coolness is not important, and friends are. And I think that came with years and years and years of being around people who had much the same attitude, but they didn't realize they had that attitude. And they were just these old school bikers that you've come across, and they'll talk to anybody, and they don't care. They'll stop at a gas pump and they'll talk to you. And they don't care what you think of them, and you know, and they'll talk to everybody. Because that's true freedom. When you don't give a shit, that's freedom.
Just want to say too that he might not give a shit if you think he's cool, but it matters to me.
So it matters to you that he thinks I'm cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to your question of what do I think about these guys. And I've been here 11 years. I've watched people come and go. This dealership has always been a family, and I've been here 11 years, and I know that there's people here who would do anything for each other, and I know there's a misconception of when you walk in here, some people are intimidated by coming into a Harley dealership, and that could be the furthest from the truth. There's not an intimidating person in here, or at least anyone who tries to be an intimidating person. I just think that, you know, this dealership is such a down-to-earth place to come. We're very laid back, we're very casual. Sometimes we get, sometimes we may be a little too laid back and casual, and some people may find it offensive, but you know what? That's who we are. We don't pretend to be anything we're not. And if we offend anybody, that's certainly not our intentions. We are who we are, and you come in here and be who you are. And I'll tell you, once you realize that you come in here and you're home, and this is, if you have a Harley, no matter where you are, when you go to a dealership, you're home. This is your place to go, and that's why everybody goes to dealerships as a place to stop when they're on the road, because it's the one place that you know you're home. And the people here are family. So, you know, whether I've been here under 3 different names, dealer, and owned by 3 different people, and it's always been home. It's the one place that you can go every single day and life is normal. You go home and life is tough and it's hard, and you have different things financially, kids, all that kind of stuff. There's 8 hours a day that you know that you can come in this dealership and life is normal.
So I guess if we're family, that's Dad and that's the ugly stepbrother.
So if anybody is out there interested in the in the job for a sales manager, right? No, this is a place, like I said, this is family. We might be a little bit one of those, I can swear it, one of these f***ed up families from time to time, but you know, every family has its days. Every family, you know, everyone got their issues sometimes, but no matter what, as good and bad days, we're all still family. As much as we might fight sometimes and curse and swear on each other, and we're still family.